Hey everyone, I know it's been a little while since I've posted a video, but I've gotten spurred on by my carniversary, which is today. So for those of you who don't know, carniversary is a carnivore anniversary. So at this exact time last year, I was recovering from a heinous Christmas hangover and B, the worst gut pain I'd had in a very long time. And I finally decided I was going to embrace the carnivore lifestyle. I thought I would do it for 7 days just to see how I felt. And that 7 days has turned into 365 days. So for those of you who have seen Dave Mack from my Zero Carb Life video, I was lucky enough to be a guest on his program, and it launched last night, and it made me question a whole lot of things when I watched it. And so I'm going to talk about a few of those things today. I'm also going to talk about how my Christmas day went and the results of my Christmas day, and would love to hear from any of you on how you coped with Christmas day as a carnivore, or even as a ketovore or deep keto, however you roll in that sphere. I'd love to know how you went Christmas day and what you decided you were going to do. So I'm going to touch on that first, just very quickly. I had decided, because my weakness in my past life was fruit, and I haven't had any fruit apart from a tiny piece of pear about a month ago when I was out at a fancy restaurant for 12 months. So that was my one and only shot at fruit. And so I decided for Christmas morning I was going to have a kind of a keto fruit breakfast. So I had strawberries, raspberries, and what else did I have? A little bit of mango. That's not very keto, but a little bit of mango. I promised myself kind of at the beginning of December that I was going to allow myself that treat. And I know for some people you can't veer off because it's a car crash, you can't get back on to your carnivore lifestyle. But for me, I don't have that problem. I'm really fortunate that if I take a meal off, that I can go straight back on. And I know some people are just so carb addicted that they can't do that, but I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. So I had that fruit breakfast with a tiny bit of yogurt, Greek yogurt, just like a drizzle, just to kind of bind it all together. And I enjoyed it. Literally had about that much. But that for me was absolutely brilliant. And then, like most women do on Christmas Day, I spent the day preparing food in the kitchen for everyone else. We had 25 people, so I had a busy day. And I actually didn't think that I ate all that much. And to be truthful, I didn't. I didn't have any other snacks, maybe 3 or 4 pistachio nuts and a couple of cashew nuts, which I don't do anymore. I don't eat nuts anymore. But there was chocolate and crisps and dip and cheese and you name it, lollies, the works were on the table, which again, it doesn't bother me. I can be in a room full of people eating that food and I'm not tempted. So I didn't think I ate a lot. And for my Christmas meal, we skipped lunch. I had a meal at about 6 o'clock. I ate a glazed ham, which I'd glazed myself, and I did glaze it with maple syrup, marmalade, and Dijon mustard. But it was a huge ham, and so the slices of that glazed ham that I got, I kind of figured would be kind of, not nil sugar, but not much sugar. There was a lot of glazing on that, and I re-glazed. I'd never glazed ham before, so I was very, very proud of it. But I ate some of that, and I ate some roast pork and some crackling, and that's it. I didn't eat anything else. I did, however, imbibe in some alcohol. Now, last Christmas, I had to be put to bed at about 9:30 because I was very inebriated, and I'm not saying that with any pride. It was one of those Christmases where I just wanted to drink myself silly. And I did. I drank myself silly. It was a disgrace, really. And from that moment on, I haven't become a non-drinker, but I've certainly become a much less drinker. And I'm really happy with that because I feel so much better for it. And sometimes I'll go months without a drink, and sometimes I'll have alcohol maybe 2 or 3 nights in a row and then go again. And when I say alcohol, I'll have 1 glass of wine, whereas I'd have 1 bottle of wine. So my alcohol intake has really cut down. But on Christmas Day, I had 2 glasses of champagne and 4 cans of some juju juice from Japan that was very high in alcohol and did knock me a little silly, although I did not get drunk. So in the period from 9 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the morning, I had 6 alcoholic drinks, which for me, I was really happy with. I had a great time. I never felt like I was out of control. My dancing skill was on point for Christmas Day, so that was always a good thing. But I didn't wake up with a hangover. I felt a bit dry in the morning, but I did not wake up with a hangover. But I hopped on the scales this morning. Haven't done that since a couple of days before Christmas. I was at that point 57.8 kilograms, which is right about where I hover. I go up and down, but that's about my happy weight. This morning I hopped on the scales and I was 59.1 kilos, which was a whopping weight gain for me. And I instantly thought, oh my God, what's happened? I only had ham and pork. But it just goes to show how we forget the impacts of inflammation on our body. So I will get on again tomorrow, and I generally tend to weigh every day because it helps me keep focused. But I will expect that weight to go down a little bit with inflammation dropping. I've been, on point yesterday and today. I've eaten very carnivore. I'm drinking lots of water, getting a lot of fluid in to help flush out that inflammation. Today I've actually had 3 meals. 3 meals and a snack. I've been really hungry today, and I'm guessing as well that little bit of sugar that has snuck in has given me a bit of a boost in the sugar. I also took my ketone readings. I haven't done that for a couple of months, just out of interest, just to see where my body was sitting. And that's important for me. A lot of carnivores don't do their keto readings, and I get that you're not interested, but for me, and I'll explain that, that's important. And I was 0.5, so just in nutritional ketosis. Normally I'm anywhere from 0.9 to 1.9 depending on how my day's gone, and I normally intermittent fast. But I was watching a Kelly Hogan video yesterday, and she is now eating 3 meals a day, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to see how that goes for me, and I'm going to track my macros today as well. It turns out I eat a lot more than I think I do, particularly if I eat 3 meals. Having breakfast definitely does stimulate my hunger. And of course I'm off work as well. So I'm not busy, I'm chill. So there's more time for me to think about my hunger, where when I'm at work, if I'm hungry, I just push on to, my 11 o'clock. That's usually when I start to eat. So I've definitely been hungry today. So I'm going to tell you what I've had for food today. And I haven't finished eating, by the way, I'm still having another meal. I had for breakfast 2 eggs and about 100 grams of that ham that was left over. Then for lunch, I had, we call them pork rashers here. It's like pork belly, like a short rib without the rib in it. And I had 400 grams of that today in 2 meals. So I ate most of it at lunchtime, but then thought, don't eat all of this, save some of it for dinner. But I needed food again by about 3:30. I was hungry again, so I finished the last 2. So I've had about 400 grams of those pork rashers today, and tonight for my last meal I'm going to have eye fillet steak, and it's probably a 200 gram eye fillet. It's not huge and it's really quite lean, so I'll add some butter to that. And I think by the end of the day I will be pushing about 2,200 calories, but I have to say I've needed all that food today. When I intermittent fast, I don't eat nearly that much because I don't feel hunger as much. I probably would eat that much, but it's condensed. So maybe my brain's playing tricks on me. But I am going to experiment with eating 3 times a day a little bit and just see how that goes. I'm hoping today's hunger is just because I've had a little bit of sugar in my diet. I also allowed myself some keto Christmas cake, and I've had that 3 days in a row. I think that's about 95 calories per serve. So my calories have been up higher than I actually thought they were. And those little things just sneak in. And I have to say that keto Christmas cake is delicious, but I have thrown it in the bin this morning because the tendency to allow yourself to eat those things when they're in your house, when they're keto, it's just there. So it went in the bin, and it's a terrible shame. Nobody in my family would eat it because it wasn't sweet enough for them. Beautiful cake, really enjoyed it. We have a fantastic bakery here in my local area that does a load of keto treats, and I definitely used her services when I was keto, but now that I'm carnivore, I don't, but I allowed myself that Christmas cake, and I really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Some of the other things that I've taken, or I'm taking into this year's carnivore journey, into my second year, are to keep an eye more on mixing up my meats. I'm going to try and eat a little bit more fish this year. I'm going to try and up my fluid intake, my water intake, because I do sometimes not drink because I'm not thirsty, but I think sometimes you can be dehydrated as well. You know, it's hot here, it's humid here in Australia at the minute, so I'm going to be really conscious of that. I am going to start tracking my macros a little bit more often, even if it's just one day a week, just to keep me on a nice even keel. And I'm definitely going to do a little bit more ketone tracking, even again if it's just once a day. I never manage to do a high reading in the morning. Usually my highest readings are at night time, so I'm going to take my ketones again tonight, just out of curiosity to see how they look. So talking to Dave on his interview made me realize, and I stopped doing YouTube videos because I felt like I couldn't offer our community anything because I wasn't a super loser. I didn't have huge amount of weight to lose. And so I thought maybe I couldn't help anybody, but actually from the comments that I've had on my own YouTube channel today from new subscribers and people on Dave's channel, actually we need all, and that's what Dave was saying, we need all the varieties of people in our community to step up and say, here I am, I've been doing this for 12 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10, 15 years. Is there anything that I can share with my community? And definitely I think that I can help. So if there's anything that resonates with you that you've seen in any of my videos, or any questions that you think I might be able to help you with, I've got 12 months experience at this now, and I've been pretty clean for those 12 months. What I've discovered in 12 months is that you have to do your version of carnivore. My version's been pretty clean. I don't think I really want to do the lion diet. You know, I still drink decaf. I have cheese when I want cheese. You know, I don't have gallons of cheese. I don't do too much dairy apart from cheese anymore. I have a little bit of butter if you want to, well, I have a lot of butter, but if you want to consider that dairy. But I don't have cream anymore. I certainly don't have milk. I don't eat yogurts or anything like that. So that's my version of carnivore. Everything else is animal based. I don't have any sweeteners anymore, don't do anything like that. But if there's something that you think I might be able to help you with, or any questions that you've got for me, I'd be more than happy to answer them. I can't tell you how to do your version of carnivore, but I can certainly tell you what's helped me, and I can tell you how I feel on the carnivore lifestyle. And going forward, I can't see anything changing for me as far as how I eat. I feel great. I'm about to turn, well, this year's my 54th year. I turned 54 in 2024. A few years ago, I was considering retiring at 55 because I was in so much pain because I work physically hard. Right about now, I'm absolutely fine to keep going. I don't feel the need to retire. I feel really good. One of the reasons that tracking my ketones has become important to me, and I didn't touch on this with Dave, and it's just one of those things, because I live it every day, I didn't kind of think about it, you know. But my father has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease September of last year. So just over, you know, sort of coming up to 15, 16 months now. And I know how important those ketones are for brain function. So one of the really important things for me, as it's familial, is to try and keep my fats high and my ketones high. So I'm going to try and do that a bit more. So if you've got any questions about that, or if you've got anything that you can share with me about your experience with ketones and how you go tracking ketones on the carnivore lifestyle, are they even important to you? Do you track your macros? If there's anything you can help me with, I'm really open to learning. I don't think you ever stop learning about the carnivore lifestyle. But I'm going to really make an effort to try and get on here and do more videos and just be a bit more helpful to our community, because there's not many of us in the wide world. There's not many of us in Australia. There's even less of us. So if I can be of help to anybody, please let me know. I'm just going to keep answering questions. I don't imagine I'll get to the point where I've got to answer dozens a day. So I will definitely make an effort to answer any of your questions and comments. Please drop me any comments that you've got. Happy to hear them. And let's have a good January, World Carnivore Month. Let's really make ourselves feel great. If you've got anything that you want to try and heal, if you've got a few pounds that you want to try and get off, if you've been on the carnivore lifestyle and you're just hovering around YouTube channels watching to try and get a bit of motivation, just do it. Get back on the wagon. World Carnivore Month is January. We're all going to be in it with you. Let's get your body feeling great, make you feel invincible, get that joint pain gone, get that blood sugar down, really help you focus on having a healthy, happy 2024. So happy carniversary to me, and we'll hopefully see you soon.